Welcome back, it's me, Lou. Okay, so today we're gonna do something a lot different. One of the things I'm really into, but I haven't covered yet on my YouTube channel, is Legos. Now, I kind of took a year off from being serious about Legos, but I don't know, there was a good 4 or 5 years where I was pretty hardcore about Legos. So hardcore, in fact, that I was actually flown out to LA to audition for Lego Masters for the first season. But I'll talk about that one some other day. But for now, we'll just talk a little bit about Legos, and I just wanted to show off this one Lego MOC I have. Now, for those of you who don't know what a MOC is an acronym. It's MOC, and that stands for My Own Creation. So this Lego MOC in particular isn't anything super spectacular. If anything, this has like I think more personal meaning to me than anything else. So way back in the day, when Star Wars Episode 2, Attack of the Clones came out, Lego released a bunch of Lego sets based on the new Attack of the Clones movie, and one of the sets they released was Obi-Wan's Jedi Starfighter. And then I remember I bought it and I loved it and it was beautiful. But then some years down the road, I decided that I wanted to build something crazy out of Legos, but I didn't have enough pieces. So I took apart the Lego Starfighter, and then all those pieces were used to make some super duper giant ship. And that giant ship doesn't exist anymore because I needed to build something bigger, and I took that apart. So all I have left of that Obi-Wan Jedi Starfighter was just the instruction manual. And then I kind of regretted it ever since. And then maybe like 3 years ago, I was kind of desperate to have that model again. And I hunted it down on eBay. And then I found it. And then I built it up. And I think it's one of those things where as time moves, I think your memories of certain things are a lot more... I think they leave a different impression than as opposed to what it really is. Like, for some reason, I always thought that was an amazing model kit. And then, when I finally put it back together, it was very basic and is very bare minimum and bare compared to the stuff that Lego does nowadays. Like, the stuff Lego does nowadays is amazing. Maybe not so much the last 2 or 3 years, because I think they've been taking some cost-cutting measures. So the models you're getting, they're not as crazy as they were like a few years ago. But some of the stuff they pull off, in terms of the design, the models are a lot more sleeker. They're a lot more accurate, and especially with the Star Wars stuff, they're just cleaner, awesome builds all around. So I ended up building this Obi-Wan Starfighter again after I found it on eBay, and I was kind of disappointed. I'm like, man, I remember this thing being a lot cooler than I thought it was. So I was thinking to myself, okay, let's just take it apart and from the ground up rebuild it so it kind of resembles more of the modern Lego design builds. So for the Jedi Starfighters, I have some of the more recent. These aren't recent. These are some of the older ones. I have this Jedi Starfighter. Forgive me, I don't remember which character this belongs to. All I know that it's green. Maybe it's Mace Windu's or something. But for some reason I put Yoda in here because it was green. And so this is kind of one of the more recent Jedi Starfighter builds. Here's a blue one. I think this is Plo Koon's. There's dust all over these. Dust is like every Lego collector's eternal nemesis. You'll never be able to get all the dust off all your Legos. It's going to make you crazy. So at the time, these were a little bit more recent Lego designs for the Jedi Starfighters, and they looked a lot better than the original Obi-Wan Jedi Starfighter. The shape actually looks and feels more like it does in the cartoons and the movies, whereas the original Obi-Wan Starfighter, it was kind of flat. It was almost like a piece of paper with a canopy on top of it. But these kind of have all the curves and bends where they should, and they're built really nice. So my thing was, okay, I'm going to take apart this Obi-Wan Jedi Starfighter, and I want to build it up so it looks and feels more like these little bit more modern takes on the vehicles. So I kind of use these as a blueprint, you know, especially this one especially, and I'm like, okay, so how am I going to parcel out all the pieces I have of my Obi-Wan Starfighter and make something that feels and looks like this? So I went into my parts bin and found all the necessary extra bits and pieces I would need, like, you know, like hinged pieces and I don't know, anything I might need for greebling or whatever. And I went to work, and the end result was this guy, you know. So this guy was very much inspired by, you know, these more modern builds, like that. And we could go into a little bit more detail with this. So yeah, this isn't like a one-for-one accurate representation of Obi-Wan's Jedi Starfighter. Now, the design of it, it's more influenced, I'd say, by the Clone Wars cartoon than Attack of the Clones. So the Jedi Starfighter and Attack of the Clones, what makes it different than the ones that you see in the cartoon is that the placement of the astromech. Like, the astromech is essentially the R2 unit, for those of you who don't know what an astromech is. And this guy's, like, stuck. He's not coming out. So, the astromech in Attack of the Clones is placed off to the side on the wing of the Jedi Starfighter. So it looks like this. So Obi-Wan's astromech, it's on the side like that, right? So this is kind of like his navigational co-pilot. You know, this guy punches in all the calculations, make sure that when Obi-Wan goes into like light speed, he doesn't like run into an asteroid or anything. So as the Clone Wars cartoon got started, they kind of redesigned the Jedi Starfighter, and they moved the location of the astromech from the wing towards the front and center of the ship, placed in front of the cockpit. So then it was relocated here. And actually, I have a toy on hand. Let me go grab it real quick. Where is it? Alright, this guy's covered in dust also, so I apologize for it. As you can see, dust. There was a time, like, I'd, like, at least once a month, I'd go through my toy collection and just dust everything. But I'm, like, in my later years, I have to admit that I'm too lazy to, like, dust. Although it's not that hard, I really should get back to dusting once a month. So yeah, this is the Jedi Starfighter. This is more specifically Anakin Skywalker's Jedi Starfighter from the Clone Wars cartoon. And let's try to fit this on camera. Alright, so this is produced by Hasbro, and we have good old Anakin in here, and he's shielded away from the dust. And let's take a look at the action figure. The action figure is kind of cool. Yeah, so everyone that gets boners over like the vintage and legacy figures, you know, back in the day they were making some cool figures before that. So here's Anakin. Let's put his lightsaber back in here. No, I'm a big mark for Anakin. Anakin's awesome. And now I can't close this. How does this close? Oh shoot, it's not. All right, there you go. So this is based off of more the design on the cartoon, and then the astromech, aka the R2 unit, he sits comfortably in here in the front. And for the Hasbro toy, this hatch opens up and you can take the figure out. And then, or if you want, you can even seat a second action figure in here. It doesn't have to be an astromech because it's dug out deep enough for the legs right there. But I love this. I missed this. I'm really nostalgic for this period of time when I collected action figures. Man, I wish I had a crazy time machine. So yeah, that's more crazy talk for me. Yeah, so that's the Jedi Starfighter from the Clone Wars. That's the Hasbro version of it. But going back to my Lego one, look at all this friggin' dust. Okay, so yeah, this is Obi-Wan's Jedi Starfighter. So this was made from all the pieces of the original Obi-Wan Jedi Starfighter from Attack of the Clones. Of course, I added more pieces to it. And it's not completely accurate to what you see in the cartoon, but for me, it's close enough. It's a good approximation. It has the proper color scheme. I'm not sure if the color distribution is correct, but I think for the most part, if you're a Star Wars fan and you saw this, you'd recognize this as Obi-Wan's. I forgot the name of Obi-Wan's astromech. For some reason, I want to say RP-17. Is that right? I might be wrong. If you remember the designation of Obi-Wan's astromech, let me know in the comments below. And I tried to smooth out some of the surface details, so I'm not one of those dudes that's embarrassed that there's studs on his models. Like, for me, seeing the studs is just a reminder that it's a Lego build. But where I could smooth it out, I tried to. And the cockpit, you pull this off, and then this opens up, and there's old school Obi-Wan. And then this closes back. I was really impressed with myself, I have to admit, like the way I figured out how to make the transition from the cockpit to the outer edges of it so it looks a little bit more seamless. So it looks like it's a perfect fit. And then this tab is back into place. Yeah, like I said, this isn't anything to write home about. It's a very simple build for the most part, but for me it's just special because it took a model kit that I really loved, and then I kind of just made it my own by redesigning it. And I think maybe a couple of years ago, Lego, in their marketing, I think one of the things they wanted to drive home to parents is that a kid, if they make a certain thing with their Legos, if they follow the instruction manual, whatever, and they end up building what they're supposed to build, that's not the end of the story. The kid can actually go back and create something of their own design. Their own personal MOC. My own creation, which this is. So, it has the landing gears, like the stock one, and much like the other modern Jedi Starfighters, there's a small little clip here, so Obi-Wan can hold on to his saber. Yeah, it's a fun little build. I'm trying to get back into Lego right now. I'm really hopeful that in 2022, Brick World brings back Brick World Chicago, the premier Lego convention in North America. I have a build that I want to display there. And if you do a search on YouTube, I think it's Beyond the Brick has it. Do a search for Lego Hogwarts. And if you find a video that showcases Louis Bernal's Hogwarts from Brick World, I think it was 2019, that's me. So hunt that down, and you'll see me on video showing off my Hogwarts castle. So the plan for next year's Brick World, if it comes back to Chicago, is that I've been trying to rework that Hogwarts. I'm making it a little bit more bigger, adding some different details, and I'm just really excited to just be a part of that convention again. It's so fun being a part of the Lego community for that entire week of events. You get to meet other Lego creators. You get to see everyone else's builds. It's just a really fun time. There was a period of my life where Lego kind of I don't want to say Lego saved my life, but there was a kind of a difficult, challenging period in my life personally, and for me, Lego is kind of my escape to ground myself and center myself. And for that, I'm always gonna be grateful to the Lego toy in general for helping me keep my peace of mind. And it provided many fun adventures for me also. Like I said, at one point in time, I was flown out to LA to audition for Lego Masters for the first season. Unfortunately, I didn't make it, but still, it was kind of cool that being into Legos afforded me that very once in a lifetime opportunity. But yeah, I'm a big fan of Star Wars, a big fan of Legos, and it's cool how Legos provides you with a tool to not only make Star Wars vehicles, but to just create your own crazy Star Wars creations. And yeah, this is cool. I dig this a lot. So yeah, this is my first, I think, Lego video I've done for my YouTube channel, and hopefully I'll do more. I want to do more. I'm starting to fall in love with Lego again a little bit. The whole Lego Master experience left a really bad taste in my mouth for a year, and then I couldn't like look at a Lego set again for a while, and let alone just touch one. So it's like it's like breaking up with a girl. It's like, you know, you don't want to. I don't know, just, you know, it's the wound. I don't know, the wounds are starting to close, so I'm starting to feel like I could revisit Lego again. So yeah, this is gonna be hopefully the first of many Lego videos to come. Lego is a fun hobby. It's awesome, 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 awesome. So once again, thank you for checking out this video. My name is Lou. You know, feel free to drop by and check out all my other videos. And until the next time, you take care. Talk to you later.